So, Assalamu alaikum, I'm Falak Amaar. I'm an international makeup artist. और आज मैं आपको सिखाऊंगी पार्टी मेकअप सिंप्लीफाइड. सो बेसिकली पार्टी मेकअप लुक जो बहुत सिंपल टेक्निक्स के साथ आप लोग सीख सकते हैं, अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, whether you're aspiring makeup artist or you are somebody who just wants to learn how to do makeup. So, sorry, just one sec. There's a lot of echo. Is that better? Can everybody hear me clearly? Yes. All right, I can hear myself very clearly as well. All right, so we have our lovely model Amina with us, and I'm going to be starting with eye makeup. And the reason I always start with the eyes is because eyeshadow palettes have a lot of fallout. और बहुत सारा makeup आपके under eyes के नीचे गिरता है, जो makeup को बहुत muddy and untidy look देता है. So, give me a sec. I'm just going to change my mic because I would like to really enjoy teaching you what I'm doing, and it's a little bothersome because I think it's screeching a bit. Is it all right? Shall I carry on? All right. So starting with the eyes. Now the secret to eye makeup that will last long and that will not crease and that will look really nice and flawless is an eye primer. आप अपना concealer भी use कर सकते हैं for this. या आप एक eye primer भी ले सकते हैं. So I'm going to be using an eye primer. Amina has very flawless skin, so we actually don't have to do a lot of work. But there's some things that if you use in skin prep, they just make everything last longer. और आपको बहुत मेहनत नहीं करनी पड़ेगी. Basically, it cuts out the hard work from makeup. तो आप अपनी fingers भी use कर सकते हैं because I'm an artist. For the sake of hygiene, I have to use a brush and my tools. I'm just prepping the lid, a very thin layer. Now what happens with this is that the skin becomes a canvas as opposed to just being porous skin. आप लोगों ने अक्सर देखा होगा when you wear your eye makeup, it kind of starts creasing after a while, or the color becomes less strong, it becomes very muddy. That happens because the oils on your skin are actually kind of diluting the pigment जो आपने अपनी eyes पे लगाया है. And what we are doing right now is we are not going to allow that to happen. So we have a good eye prep there. I'm going to go with a very neutral palette so that I'm teaching something that everyone can learn from. We all need a good fluffy brush in our makeup kits. Something like this. Something which is nice and fluffy and there's not too much color going on initially to begin with. I'm just using a neutral brown color and I'm just going to create a base of color. The first step is just get the color on. Can you please open your eyes so I can see the eye shape? Close your eye. Just get the color on your eyelid. आप लोग देख रहे हैं, I'm not worrying about being extra tidy or just like super careful. I'm just getting the color on because at the end of the eye makeup, I'll show you a technique called sculpting, which literally sculpts the entire look into place. So this is just a soft brown color. Who here is afraid of doing eye makeup? Oh, quite a few. Literally after this technique, a lot of my clients or people after attending my masterclasses say they have started wearing eye makeup even for brunches because this literally simplifies the process. As you can see, I've just got the color on the lid. Open your eyes, please. And how far up does this color go? It goes up to where your actual socket lies. You know, हम सब कहते हैं there's like hooded eyes, या monolid, या eyelid cover हो गई है, or with age, a lot of sagging happens. You don't think about your eyelid. You think about your socket and you go up to the socket with the color. Now that I've got this color on, which is a neutral, medium, matte shade, I'm going to apply some shimmer in the middle just to make it pop. Which shimmer shall we go with? Shall we go with something pinky, bronzy, silvery? What are you feeling? Because Amina here is a neutral undertone, and we'll talk about that in a little while. I'm feeling, Amina, what's attracting you in this? Yeah, okay, pinky. Well, so I'm just going to apply it in the middle. Now, why am I just placing the color in the middle? Because this is where the light would generally naturally reflect. Don't just go everywhere with your shimmer. Be a bit prudent and just apply it in the middle here. Open your eye, please. And look at that. Another thing I love doing is, if you really want the color to pop, your ring finger is your best friend for the eyes. It's the gentlest finger. And you really get the color on with this. Do you see the difference? The brush got some color on, but with the finger, you can really melt the product into the skin. Open your eyes, please. It's a very wet look shimmer. I love this because it just creates a nice light effect as opposed to a very heavy effect. Kabhi din mein bhi aapka dil karega ki you put some shimmer on and you don't want to go too heavy. So this is ideal for that. Now for the outer corners, you want to create some shape. Normally when you have makeup done, you see people create an outer corner, then a color, then transition. Skip all those steps. Just simplify everything. I'm going to go in with another brush. Anything small. It could be one of your favorite small brushes. It doesn't have to have any particular shape. And I'm just doing the outer corners. Again, I'm literally just getting the color on. Now, where does this darker color go? It literally goes here where the eye meets. So open your eye, please, Amina. Within this, you don't bring it out. So I'm just going to place the color in this corner, and I'm not worried about creating shapes. I'm just applying it right now because I want to show you how easy it is once you have all the colors on to blend them. Just turn this way, please. And as you go along, if you want to blend, you can. But the first thing I repeat is get the color on, simply because once you have everything in place, blending is very, very easy. I'm going back to that fluffy brush we started with. And I'm just going to bring the entire story together. If you need more color, get more color. I see a lot of people make a mistake that if there's not enough color, they drag the product around. And that actually isn't really good for your skin either or for the makeup look. If you need more, take more. Just build it up. Please open your eyes. You can already see a really lovely eye shape appearing. Just look this way, please. Just blend, blend, blend. And once you've blended this out, now we go in with the eyeliner, mascara, and then we sculpt. And you will absolutely love it because sculpting will literally show you the magic of, when you see snatched makeup looks and you see kis tarah, all these models and all have a very snatched look going on. That's what we're going to achieve. So I'm going in with an eyeliner now. You can use gel or liquid, it's up to you. I'm using a gel pencil liner simply because I want a softer look. It's a party makeup look. Now the technique is कि आप अपनी lashes के बीच में सारे gaps को भरें. So I'm really going close to the lash line, really close to the lash line as you can see on the camera. And I'm filling in any gaps. Now look down, please. I'm also filling in any gaps within the lash lines with the eyes open. You see how the color's on and how thick and full the lashes already look because हमने lashes के बीच के gaps को खत्म कर दिया है. We are making it look like they're really full and thick और अभी we haven't even got to mascara. Now before this dries, I'm going to take an angled brush and I'm going to kind of smudge this because we're going for a soft look. Anyone can wear eyeliner if they literally get the color on and smudge it because it gives a very soft, smoked out look. You can create the shape afterwards if you want it thick or thin. Open your eye, please. Let's see. So I'm going to repeat the same process. I'm just tight lining. Tight lining means you draw a very tight line very close to the lashes. and that enhances the eye shape. Okay, look up please again. See, now this eye, I haven't got quite close to the lashes and you can see gaps. और होता ये कि जब आप वो gaps छोड़ देते हैं और आप मस्कारा लगाते हैं तो आपकी lashes और भी पतली लगती हैं और spidery लगती हैं. And that's what you don't want. So look down please. I'm just going to fill in any lines close to the lash line. Aksar people wear liner, gel liner, and you see these big gaps or it looks untidy. So that's what we are trying to avoid. You can use any small brush for this blend-in. You don't have to go and buy a very thin brush or the same thing as I'm using. Open your eyes, please. Thank you. And now I'm going to start sculpting. Now there's another technique that I love teaching my clients. अगर आपका eyeliner नीचे से तो sculpting से आप shape बना लेंगे, but what do you do on top? If suppose आपको लगता है that this part of your liner is not even, the top part, you can't sculpt that, आप color लगा चुके हैं. You can always go in with a very dark color, a black or a dark brown, whatever you would like to use, and you can blend the outer corner, of the liner back into the eyeshadow. The shape will remain, लेकिन आपकी वो परेशानी कि eye shape बराबर नहीं है. You can close your eyes, please. वो चली जाएगी. You see, the shape is still there, but it's kind of blended into the outer corner. I'm going to go in with some mascara now because we want to bring the shape back. And I don't know, सबके साथ होता है कि सिर्फ मेरे साथ होता है कि जब कोई चीज ढूंढनी हो तो उसी वक्त बिल्कुल नजर नहीं आती. Always get rid of the excess product on your brush every single time. This will save you a lot of trouble afterwards. So, she has beautiful long lashes, mashallah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you a technique that's called sandwiching the lashes. In that, आप खाली नीचे से mascara नहीं लगाते, you actually apply it from on top and from underneath. And that way your lashes will stay curled and lifted for a long time, but they won't feel heavy. बहुत सारे लोग कहते हैं mascara लगाने के बाद नींद आती, आंखें भारी होती हैं, so this cuts that out. So I'm just applying some from on top. And now I'm applying from the bottom. So mascara के लिए ये भी याद रखना बहुत ज़रूरी है that what formula are you using? Look down please. If you have very long lashes, then you need something more volumizing, not lengthening. If you have very thick lashes, then you should get something that says lengthening. Mascaras पे लिखा होता है lengthening, volumizing, exactly what purpose are they serving. So according to that, you can get the right mascara. So just open your eyes, look at that. It looks like she's wearing false lashes. If you turn to a side, do you see how that looks? I'm just going to apply a bit more. You can go light, you can go heavy. That's a personal choice. If you're an aspiring makeup artist और आपके पास clients आते हैं, in that case, you can always kind of figure out आपके client के lashes को किस चीज की जरूरत है. What's the need? Is it just volumizing? Is it lengthening? उसको study करें. So basically understand your client's features and you will literally save yourself time, product, and then having to clean up. Okay, just look that way, please. Again, I'm coating the top lashes. If you have any questions, please ask away. I can answer questions as I do the workshop. I don't think we'll be using false lashes because we literally don't need to. We can create a false lash effect just with mascara. And our model has the most beautiful lashes. So I think this is quite a plus here. अब तो बहुत मस्कारा कोम्स मार्केट में आ गई हैं कि अगर आपका मस्कारा बहुत ज़्यादा लंपी हो जाए या lashes dry हो जाए या गैदर हो रही है, you can always use it to separate the lashes as well. So now that we have the mascara on, I'm going to go towards skin prep and I'm going to show you sculpting. Sculpting के लिए you can use your eye makeup remover on a cotton pad. You can use eye makeup remover pads. You can use wipes. Wipes I don't recommend too often, simply because wipes use karne se skin damage hoti hai. But just once in a while, I think it's okay to use wipes. Especially when you're traveling, I think wipes are quite easy to carry as opposed to having to carry a big bottle of micellar water and cotton. So I'm just going to show you sculpting. As I was saying, eye makeup karne se, please look up, बहुत makeup गिरता है आंख के नीचे. यहाँ नजर नहीं आ रहा. It looks like her under eyes are very clean even now, but there's a lot of product that has fallen down already. और ये प्रोडक्ट अगर आप पहले अपनी फाउंडेशन कंसीडर कर लें तो ये सारा आपकी स्किन पे गिर जाता है, and then it looks very muddy and untidy. So I'm just cleaning up. So this is sculpting. Basically, you keep your cotton pad at an angle where you know that that's the shape you want to get of your eyes. So I'm just going to place it here and I'm going to drag it up. And I'm going to clean up whatever else is remaining. And look at that. All of this product was sitting under the eyes. And look at that eye shape. It's so simple, but literally आप बहुत स्पीड में, बहुत तेजी में अपना मेकअप कर सकते हैं अगर आप अपने मेकअप को सिंप्लीफाई करें और उससे डरना छोड़ दें तो. And of course, be smart about it. Do your eyes first and then move on to the skin. Now, skin prep is an extremely important step in makeup. बहुत सारे लोग मेकअप लगा के एज लगते हैं या उनकी स्किन बहुत ज़्यादा it looks very cakey or thick or heavy. अगर आप उस चीज़ को अवॉइड करना चाहते हैं तो पहले अपनी स्किन को बहुत अच्छे से प्रेप करें. If your skin is prepped well, you need very less product to look flawless. And that's what we're going to be showing today. So I'm taking this cotton pad. This is a toning pad. It has toner on it. और ये बहुत टाइप के होते हैं. किसी क्लाइंट के बहुत ओपन पोर्स हों या आपके अपने बहुत ओपन पोर्स हों तो ओपन पोर्स के लिए टोनिंग पैड्स होते हैं. Or you might have somebody with oily skin. You might have somebody with very dry skin. Somebody with mature skin. So depending on that, आप लेंगे. I'm using very simple calming ones जो ज़्यादातर लोगों को सूट करते हैं because they deal with redness and irritation or anything and they prepare the skin for makeup. So I'm just going to give her skin a clean. It feels good, doesn't it, Amina?
Yeah.
It's very refreshing and the skin then looks very well prepared for makeup. So step one is your toning with the toning pad because this also mildly exfoliates the skin. If there's any dead skin on the surface, if there's any patchiness, dryness, this rough side will actually get rid of it for you. और बहुत सारे लोग जब आते हैं, you realize as a makeup artist that they neglect these sides a lot. So just kind of give it a good rub. Don't be harsh though, because you don't want your skin to get irritated, but just kind of love your skin, pamper it basically. Next, a serum. Now, she's young. She has a little bit of open pores and her skin is actually flawless and perfect. So we don't need too many serums. But if you had mature skin, you would use a very nourishing serum. If you have oily skin, you would go with something with niacinamide in it. If you have dry skin, you'll go with something which is more oil-based. So just based on what your skin needs, use a serum before your makeup. I'm using Glow Serum, which is hydrating and just calming. So I'm going to apply that serum to her skin quite gently and I'm going to press it in. आपकी जो भी स्किन केयर रूटीन है आप उसको भी यूज कर सकते हैं. Your basic toner, serum, moisturizer. During the day you could use sunblock. In the evening you could use something heavier in terms of your cream. Simply because if your skin is nicely hydrated and moisturized, you will notice how little makeup I'll use and how well that's going to sit on her skin. Now that the serum's on, you need a good moisturizer. I swear by this moisturizer. It's the Embryolisse Moisturizing Primer. It is excellent for all skin types, especially if you're wearing makeup. So I'm going to just take some out. Of course, your hands are the best tool for blending in any skincare. If there are any questions, please ask away. I don't know Pakistan में products wise availability Embryolisse की है या नहीं, but I'm sure lots of places ship worldwide and you could always order it for yourself. This primer, even in your skincare, if you have dry cuticles, if you have dry lips, you want to wear it as a mask, as a cleansing cream, it's an excellent product. Right, her skin is ready. I've got the moisturizer on. Now for primers. Primers are a very, I would say, personal item to use. आप use करना चाहें तो जरूर करें, ना करना चाहें तो you can skip it as well. But what a primer does it literally sticks the foundation to your face and it also becomes a barrier between makeup and your skin. So I'm going to use a very small amount of primer just where I can see some open pores. This is by e.l.f. It's the Poreless Putty Primer. I'm just using it where I can see any open pores. I'm not going to apply primer all over the face. There's a lot of misconception that you have to put product on everywhere. You don't. You can apply product to selective areas. I'm just applying it where we need it. How does your skin feel, Amna?
Very refreshed.
Refreshed, right? And really nicely prepared for any more makeup to go on. Right, now I'm going to go in with a foundation, something very lightweight. Foundation wise, again, it depends on your skin type. Mature skins ke liye creams are better. Younger skins ke liye liquid is better. So I'm just going to work with liquid foundation and I'm going to literally use half a pump. And you'll see how half a pump on the skin prep is really going to make the skin look pretty flawless. So I'm just going to apply it in very thin flat dots. I want the product to warm up on her skin. These are literally, you could see through these dots if you were up close, basically, and there's still foundation left at the back of my palette. Now, a lot of people like to use a beauty blender, and that too a damp beauty blender. I prefer a brush because this will literally stick the foundation into the skin. It's going to blend it flawlessly. So see how I'm pressing it in? I'm not dragging it. And in any case, skin ko drag karna to something I really don't recommend because as we age, it is already, the gravity is working in favor of the skin. So if you see, pressing the foundation in, I'm going to create a very thin layer, but it's going to look pretty flawless. And as I said, if you need more product, please take more product. Don't drag the product around on the skin. I can see that there's a little bit more required here. So I'm going to just apply a tiny bit here and leave it there. And if you want more coverage, you can always let your foundation sit on your skin for maybe 20 seconds and then blend, and you will have far more coverage than you would if you blended it immediately. Let's turn this way, please. Blend it all the way to the chin. Now, because the skin prep is so fresh and still quite wet, it is extremely easy for me to blend this foundation. अगर मैंने बहुत कम skin prep करके foundation लगा दी होती, तो एक तो I would have had to use a lot of product to blend. अभी थोड़ा product करके, it's blended so easily and flawlessly that I can keep blending this for another few minutes and it will still keep blending and warming into the skin. एक चीज याद रखें, before you buy your foundation or you choose a foundation, figure out your undertones. आप सबकी wrists के पीछे जो veins हैं, उनके colors देखें. If they're blue, you're a cool undertone. If they're green, you're a warm undertone. If there's purple, that means you're a neutral undertone. If it's blue and purple, you're a neutral cool. If it's purple and green, you're a warm undertone, a neutral warm undertone. And if it's everything, then you're a complete neutral. ये भी चीज आप नोटिस करेंगे कि if you're a warm undertone, आपको silver jewelry ज़्यादा suit करेगी. And if you're a cool, if you're a cool undertone, आपको silver jewelry ज़्यादा suit करेगी. Warm में gold ज़्यादा suit करेगी. Neutral में rose gold and other two as well. So these are simple ways जिससे आपकी foundation orange या grey नहीं होगी. If you use the wrong undertone, even if it's looking like it's your color, it will turn orange or grey after a while. I'm going to go in with the concealer now. आप लोग ये सब चीजें directly अपने face पे लगा सकते हैं, but for aspiring makeup artists in the crowd, for clients, you never apply a product directly to the face. You always take it out on a pan and then use a brush, sponge, or your finger. A sanitized finger, of course. So I'm just going to use my concealer brush. Yes, any questions? I'm going to apply concealer. Contrary to the popular TikTok and social media thing, just the corners, I'm going to apply it all under the eyes, but I'm going to apply a very thin layer, really thin layer. It's not a thick layer. I'm going to keep spreading it. मैंने एक dot जितनी concealer निकाला था on my pan, and I'm just working with that. The reason being, concealer लगाने के बाद मैं इसको कुछ देर के लिए भी छोड़ दूंगी, just for say a minute or so, and I will let this become more full coverage than it is. This is the Huda Beauty concealer. It's very lightweight. It's watery. Anywhere else I want to brighten the complexion, I want to edit anything, I can just apply it there. We are going to let the concealer sit because when it sits, it becomes more full coverage. While that's sitting, I'm just going to possibly maybe do her eyebrows, maybe look at her bronzer, we can do something else. I'm just going to brush the eyebrows and face, just to tidy it up. One thing about eyebrows, I always tell my clients, eyebrows are sisters, not twins. Please, अपनी eyebrows को exactly बराबर करने की कोशिश मत करें. That looks very unnatural. A lot of people come to me, they're like, बराबर नहीं है. And I keep telling them, बराबर हो भी नहीं सकती. So one side of your body is circulating more blood. Naturally, one side of the face for every person is a little uneven, which is natural. So please embrace it. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to take a dry blender, not a damp blender, a completely dry blender. And I'm going to blend the under eyes now. The reason I use a dry blender is, a damp blender is going to dilute this और आपकी coverage खत्म हो जाएगी. While a dry blender is going to blend this into the skin and it's going to mimic your pores. या आपके pores की copy करने की कोशिश करेगा. Like it's going to try and do something. Look up please. Just look at how seamlessly it's blended into her complexion. So, if I had used a very damp, watery blender, this would have absorbed even more product than a dry blender has. अभी ये dry है and इसने काफी product उतार दिया है. So, whatever's in excess, whatever wasn't needed on the skin has come off. But if I had used this damp, it would have actually absorbed more than you needed. So, अगर आपको कभी बहुत natural finish चाहिए हो, in that case, yes, you can use a very damp blender. But generally, please use a dry blender. I have learned makeup from Kim Kardashian's makeup artist and Sania Khuzani, who's one of the biggest makeup artists in the Middle East. And they both actually discourage using a damp blender. And they say there's a lot of bacteria and stuff in it too, so just stay safe. अब under eyes का ये मसला होता है कि if you don't set them as soon as you blend them, they will start creasing. So how do you avoid that? I have applied the concealer, I've blended it, I'm going to let it sit for a couple of minutes. कि जितनी lines पड़नी है with movement, they happen. And then I'm going to further blend this. As soon as you blend, please set it right there and then. Just taking a fluffy brush, and I'm just using a little bit of setting powder, not loose powder. The reason I'm using a setting powder is I really want to lock that concealer into place. Now that the under eyes are set and they're ready, I'm going to set the face in place. Now it's your choice if you want to use a loose powder or a setting powder. The difference is setting powder, finishing powder, एक natural सी look में आपके face को set कर देगा. A loose powder, however, is going to really create a flawless layer, but it's going to be a bit more powdery and it will take some time to melt. तो अगर तो आप या आपके client जो भी जल्दी में हैं, then you use something like this. But if you have time, then it's best to use a loose powder. We are going to go with contouring now. I want to show you how to do something which is completely different to contouring. It's called bronzing. Yani use a bronzer to contour the face. ताकि आपकी face shape भी आ जाए. Since it's a party makeup look, it's not a heavy makeup or not even a heavy makeup, a full makeup look. It's more of a everyday party makeup look. जो basically, if you're in front of a person, they can see that you dressed up for a party. We are going to go for something more natural, which is a bronzing technique. So bronzers, again, are something that you have to be mindful of. You can go very cool for a cooler undertone, यानी आपकी veins blue हैं या pink हैं और आपकी complexion is more pink, or you can go for something warm. I'm going for a neutral color because she's a neutral undertone. So now where does bronzer go? Where does this bronzer go? So I'm going to divide the face into half, and this is where I'm going to place it. Above that middle line, not below, not on. A lot of the times people contour and they draw the line below. So you don't draw the line below, you actually draw this above. And एक चीज याद रखें, nothing in nature hangs in the air. कोई चीज भी ऐसे नहीं हो सकता कि आपके यहाँ कलर लगा हुआ और बाकी नीचे कुछ भी ना हो. So if you apply color over here, you must also apply color to the sides and under the neck. Even अगर आप अपना makeup कर रहे हैं, you can't just leave color just sitting here. You have to bring it. Of course, मुझ पे आप लोग नहीं देख सकते, but model पे देख सकते हैं. You actually have to apply color on the sides as well. Whatever's left on your brush, आपको बहुत ज़्यादा color लगाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, because वो भी बहुत ज़्यादा लग सकता है. I'm just going to do the outer corner. The technique is कि बालों की तरफ उसको blend करें. Don't draw straight lines. So what I'm doing is I'm adding color to the hair. Especially अगर आपने बाल बांधे हुए हो, तो this technique is really good because it really frames the face. अगर आपका forehead, आमिना का forehead is very balanced, I don't need to create a shape. But अगर आपका forehead is very wide, you can do it on top. You can do it on the sides. But अगर आपके forehead पे जगह नहीं है, तो बेशक वहाँ color मत लेके जाएं. Just stick to the sides. But make sure what's left on your brush goes under here and under here. Now that I've got the bronzer on and I've created a nice contoured shape using the bronzer, I'm going to go in with the blush. Now I would like to give a very glowy blush because it is party makeup. I want to create a very soft, glowy complexion. So I'm going to use a pinky peachy color on her face. And where do I apply blush? Blush goes on the high point above the bronzer but covering the bronzer. I don't want to come too close to the apple of the cheek yet. Can you just hide? Because you see, I want to remain above this line, but I don't want this to go into the under eyes either. Other side, please. So आप अपने brush को basically अगर outer corner से लगाना शुरू करेंगे towards the middle, it will give a nicer look. अगर यहाँ से जो हम अक्सर करते हैं, we start brushing like this, it's going to give a very dark, stark look to the middle of the face, and actually that doesn't look very appealing to the eye. तो अगर आप बाहर से अंदर लेके आएंगे, it will give a very shaded ombre effect. So I'm starting from outside, and then whatever's left on the brush is what I'm blending back in. So look at that. Just turn your face side to side. आप ब्लश को स्किप भी कर सकते हैं. अगर आप खाली ब्राउन के साथ हाइलाइटर लगाना चाहें तो you can also do that. I'm going to go into highlighter now. Again, highlighters में you have to be quite mindful कि what kind of a color or look are you trying to achieve. Highlighters की बहुत variety आती है market में. Some are very silvery, some are very golden, depending on your undertone. Again, कि आप warm हैं या cool हैं, उसके मुताबिक अपना highlighter apply करें. I'm going with a very neutral pearly colored one, which looks like this. It's very natural. Again, as I said, it's a party makeup look, so we're going for something quite natural. And this is where your highlighter goes. जिस तरह bronzer यहाँ गया था, आपका highlighter high points पे यहाँ जाता है. Never into the under eye, just below it. और कभी भी अपने highlighter को इस point से बाहर मत निकालें, वरना आपका face visually बहुत चौड़ा लगेगा. It has to stay here. Can you smile, please? Now move your face side to side. Do you see how this side looks quite plump and fuller? Because हमने highlighter से we brought the face a little forward. So the difference in contour and highlighter is, highlight जो है वो आपकी skin को या feature को उभारता है, and the contour या bronzer उसको पीछे की तरफ ले जाता है या दबा देता है. So whenever you want depth, you apply contour or a darker shade. This one, please. I'm going to apply a little bit to her brow bone. Again, you just want this part of the brow bone to raise. You don't want the entire under eye of the brow, because this will make it droop otherwise. I'm going to do a little bit of the inner corner. अगर आपको लगे कि आपकी आंखें are closer to the nose and you want to create a bit of a separation, you can do this technique. But if your eyes are quite spaced apart, then please don't do this technique. You can do without it. And the middle of the nose. Now you can't put highlighter on all the high points and then skip the nose. So use a thin brush, apply it, and then you can blend it so it looks like skin. It looks like you're glowing from within. I'm taking the same sponge we used. It's a dry blender. And I'm going to go all over the colors that we have applied on her skin. And you will see how natural they will look as opposed to looking like powder sitting on the skin. Please move your face side to side. Look at how this side looks very blended and natural, while this side is still looking like everything sitting in layers. Now that that's done, we have the eyes and the cheeks covered. We're going to go for the lips. So lip color-wise, I decided to go with something very neutral for Ammar. So to match the eyes, I'm going with a very peachy nude color. Lip liner is a must. I know so many people who skip a lip liner because they say, we can apply lipstick perfectly without it. But when you apply your lipstick with a lip liner, you realize how flawless they look and how smooth and shapely they look. And actually, they look fuller.
So I've created a very normal lip shape. If you have uneven lips, आपका top lip ज़्यादा बड़ा है और bottom वाला छोटा है और vice versa, in that case you can overline your natural lip line a little bit. यानी आपने lip liner लगा लिया, आप उसको थोड़ा सा बढ़ा सकते हैं. यहाँ we don't need to, so I'm not going to because that's unnecessary. But we're going to stick to Amina's very perfectly even lips right now. And I'm going to just pull out a lip brush, again for the sake of hygiene. Again, if you're an aspiring makeup artist in the crowd, please remember, you cannot use the same lipstick and the same doe-foot applicator lips wala har ek ke upar. Usko nikal ke ya pan pe डालें या lip brush pe लगाएं, then use it. And actually, lip brush se uski application is going to be much smoother than it will be with an applicator. If you look at it, how smooth is that? That looks airbrushed. Lipstick की choice हर इंसान की अपनी होती है. You could wear a dark color or a light color. That's completely up to you. But as I said, अपने undertones के साथ match करके color लगाएंगे तो it's of course going to look a lot nicer than what an unmatched color would. Bear in mind, आपकी जो lipstick है वो आपके complexion को drain करती है या lift करती है. And once you choose your lipstick shade, उसके मुताबिक आप अपना blush shade कर सकते हैं. कई दफा clients आते हैं, मैं उनसे पहली दफा सवाल करती हूँ, what lipstick do you want to wear? Especially in party makeup. Heavier makeup में आप eyes के साथ balance कर लेते हो, बहुत और चीजों के साथ balance कर सकते हो. But in a party makeup look, ask the client. Like with Amina, I had a conversation beforehand. What kind of a lip color are we going with? What are your undertones? And then we built the makeup backwards. Lips, cheeks, eyes. Of course, makeup करते हुए I start with the eyes for the reasons I've explained. So that's done. Now I'm going to take my powder. You can use a puff or you could use a brush, whatever you're comfortable with. And I'm just going to set the places on her face which need a little bit of airbrushing or setting. In this process, आप अपनी eye snatch कर सकते हैं, अपनी jawline snatch कर सकते हैं, a little bit like this. अगर आपको लगे आपका blush या contour is not looking tidy, you can tidy it up. Actually, if you look at half the face that I've powdered, you can actually see the difference visually. You turn around, you see how snatched this side is looking, while the other side is still looking pretty but not flawless. Highlighter की sides को करेंगे तो नाक और भी contoured लगेगा. I'm doing it under the eyes to snatch that. I'm minimizing some pores and I'm also creating a really flawless finish under the cheekbone. Last but not the least is a setting spray. This is hairspray for your face. अगर आपका face makeup करने के बाद आप setting spray कर लें तो फिर whether it's hot or whether you're out from aircon into the heat into aircon, your makeup will last. So I'm just going to set her face in place. How does that feel? And in a little while, once the makeup is set, everything is going to melt into place and this will last. So we are done with the party makeup look. If there are any questions, please ask away. You can always come and see me after the class as well.